Well, thank you everyone for joining me today. My name is Michael Smith. I'm the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome Canada. And thank you again for joining me today for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And what will it be? Well, I don't know. It's a mystery, but soon all will be revealed. So I'll flip this camera around. Ooh, there we go. You'll see my lovely sewing room here at home. But yes, what is our fabulous Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour machine? Well, there's a little clue. With these beautiful blue Janome bobbins, you know, we've got multiple colors of bobbins now from your fabulous Janome dealer. You can never have too many bobbins. And actually, I wrote a couple of blog posts on the Janome Life blog all about our various bobbins. And of course, oh yes, we've got our fabulous Janome 100th year bobbins. So yes, get these from your fabulous Janome dealer. But why I wanted to show these beautiful blue bobbins, because our Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour machine, comes with a very beautiful Janome. They call this the semi-hard cover, dust cover. It's this beautiful black canvas with that gorgeous Janome logo. Lots of storage on the inside. Ooh, lots of hook and loop tape to hold everything. Lots of storage on the inside, so you can put all your goodies, all your accessories, everything in there. And what this cover will be covering, if you choose to, you know, I never cover my machines because I'm always using them, but this fabulous semi-hard dust cover comes with the fabulous, ta-da, yes, the Janome Skyline S3. So there we go in all of its glory. And you know, the whole Skyline range of machine, there's an S3, there's an S5, an S6, an S7, and an S9. So lots of Skyline choices. They're all the same footprint though. They're all the same mold, and they all have these beautiful accents, of blue. The original Skylines here were this soft robin's egg blue, and then certain machines like the Skyline S9, Skyline S6, Skyline S7 have an indigo blue, darker blue, but you know, they come with these fabulous blue Janome bobbins. So then your Skyline S9 or your Skyline S3 do not come with these bobbins, not the blue bobbins, but again, you can purchase them in a pack of 25 from your Janome dealer. So how wonderful that the blue matches the touch of blue accents on your machine. So isn't that great? So yes, the Skyline S3. Now, if you have perhaps an entry-level machine, a smaller machine, maybe a mechanical machine, or maybe you've got one of the QDC machines, you know, they're great and wonderful, they offer a lot, but maybe you just want a little more. You want a little more space. So the Skyline range of machines from the right of the needle here is 8 1/4 inches, so a nice big bed. We've got about, approximately 8.5 inches deep here, and we've got about, I think it's about 4.5 high. So again, a nice big throat space. So maybe when you're considering, you'd like to get, good that you're back. Okay, fabulous. If you would like, again, a bigger machine, so you've got more room, especially if you're a quilter, you'd love more room. Or again, if you're maybe sewing some home deck and you've got some, you know, curtains or something you're going to hem, having this beautiful deep throat space helps. Or maybe you're a garment sewer, and again, you'd like all that extra room for constructing your garments. Again, maybe a deep hem on some winter coats. So you've got lots of room. In fact, to the bed of the machine here, there is some markings all the way up to 8 inches that are marked here in the bed of the machine. And then there's even in centimeters for those that are metric. So isn't that great? So Skyline S3 is a 7mm machine, but it's a high shank. So that refers to, as we get in here, so people always ask me, you know, is my machine high shank or low shank? So what you need to do is put your presser foot down on the bed of the machine here, and then you're going to measure up to this screw that holds in your needle holder or in your foot holder. So if this is about an inch and 1.25 inches, then it's a high shank. If it's about 1/2 inch, then it's a low shank. So again, it may be to upgrade if you have a 4120 QDC machine, for example. It's a 7mm, as this Skyline S3 is, but that is a low shank machine, whereas the Skyline S3 is a high shank machine. So we have all of our fabulous Janome So Comfortable rulers that are ideally suited for the high shank machines. Now, low shank machines can use some of those rulers too, but it just gets a little tight in the back if you've got a low shank using those thicker high shank rulers. So by having a high shank machine, then you don't need to worry about that. So again, maybe that's one reason why to upgrade. And of course, there's many fabulous features of this machine. So again, perhaps you'd like to upgrade, but you're not ready to get into anything too complicated. Oh, Cheryl, hello. You don't want anything too complicated. You don't want to get too much, computer technology, but you definitely have many wonderful time-saving features. So for example, here when we tour the machine, everybody always loves the stop-start, so we don't have to use our foot pedal if we don't choose to. Now, speaking of foot pedals, this is the foot pedal that comes with the machine, perfectly fine. But the foot pedal I'm currently using is the big, extra large, big white, large foot pedal that comes with like the Continental M7 and the Memorycraft 15000 and the 9450. It's an optional accessory that you can purchase for your Skyline S3 here. So this is the foot pedal that comes with it. And regardless of what your foot pedal is, oh yes, I love showing this Janome So Comfortable non-slip foot pedal pad. And you can see I'm holding this at an angle and this foot pedal is not moving. It's like this rubbery, grippy surface. So no matter what your flooring is, it will grip the floor on the underside and it'll grip your foot pedal on the top side here. So again, any size foot pedal will accommodate on this So Comfortable non-slip foot pedal pad. So that's great. So again, choose to use this foot pedal that comes included with your machine. Or again, we've got the big optional extra large foot pedal as an optional accessory you can upgrade to. Or again, you just simply unplug it and then you could use the stop start if you don't have your foot pedal plugged in. Now we've got reverse button, lock button, the needle up and down button, again highlighted in the beautiful soft blue color, so easy to identify. Scissor button, everybody loves. We've got speed control, which is great. Again, especially if you're doing some new techniques, maybe some applique or sewing some decorative stitches. I always like to turn down the machine for those really intricate decorative stitches to form a little better. If you're teaching someone to sew, maybe they would be more comfortable with the speed control down. So that's great. Then we've got our beautiful LCD screen over here to the side, which I will go into in just a moment. But let's come up here to the beautiful lid. We've got 120 stitches. So again, that's another reason why if people say, oh, I want to upgrade to a new machine, you've got 120 stitches with the Skyline S3. We've got 7 buttonholes. So again, all you garment sewers, all you garment sewers, yes, you've got lots of choices. So that's wonderful. We've got 3 different alphabets here. So we've got the kind of regular English alphabet. We've got the French alphabet with the accents, and then we've got some Cyrillic letters here. So again, lots of functions, our utility stitches, decorative stitches. We've got various modes. So mode number 1 is the more utility stitches, including the buttonholes. And then mode number 2, we get into all the fancy decorative stitches. Now, the fun thing is, yes, let's say you've got a more basic Janome machine. Again, you'll recognize a lot of these same stitches. So the cool thing about Janome machines is as you go up the line, it's the same stitches. They may be different numbers because, you have more of them as you go up the Janome line. But again, it's those same stitches on the various machines. They just keep adding more and more. So you're already familiar with them. So that's very fun. Also at the top of the machine, you will see, oh yes, I've got a dial here to control the pressure of the presser foot. So we can turn it down when we would like lighter pressure, or we can turn it up to a higher number if we want to more pressure on the presser foot. So again, full instructions in your manual, but that's the capability there. This is the, currently right now it's on auto tension, but this is the tension for your needle thread. So again, we can turn it up to a higher number to increase the tension, or we can turn it down to a lower number to decrease the tension. So we always have complete control there. So that's great. Now here you'll see I'm using the secondary spool holder that also comes with your machine. Down here, there is the spool holder that's built in, but we can use this secondary spool pin holder that just fits in. There's a little hole up there. So we can put on a second spool of thread, so that way we can wind the bobbin, that we don't have to unthread our needle. Or, you know, this machine also has a built-in twin needle safety guard. So we can use a twin needle very safely with this machine. Oh my, I forgot to turn down my phone. Oh my gosh. I turned down the volume, but I didn't turn it off. I'm so sorry. I remembered to turn off my work phone. But yeah, so we can, again, use the twin needles with the Skyline S3. So isn't that wonderful? So we'll go over that in just a minute. So yes, let's continue our little tour of the machine. And you'll see the beautiful, ooh, down at the bed of the machine, we do have a needle threader. So that's fabulous. This is our easy set model. So again, drop-in bobbin. So the easy set, when we're looking for our various attachments and accessories, things like our circular attachment and our quilt binder attachment, we need the easy set model, and then that will be accommodated here. So that's fabulous. When I open, ooh, our little accessory drawer here, ooh, let me pull it out. There we go. Then, oh yes, I've got lots of goodies included with the machine, lots of presser feet. Now, I went over all of these presser feet in the A to Z with Janome series on the Janome HQ Instagram page, and as well they're all loaded as videos on the Janome HQ YouTube channel. So you can go back and review all of these presser feet. But oh yes, we've got like the C foot here with the little brush at the side. This mimics our serger, basically, that it does the same kind of overcasting stitch. The Skyline S3 does not trim your fabric though. But we can use this foot to again finish the edges of our fabric. So we've got the C foot, the E foot, the zipper foot. The F foot is the craft foot or the satin stitch foot that's got the little groove on the back. So this foot we're going to use for our decorative stitches, which I'm going to do in just a moment. So I'll leave that foot out. And you know, I always love to put my presser feet in alphabetical order, since all Janome feet have letters. So here's our G foot for our blind hem. And again, go back to review all the A to Z with Janome series to see these feet in action. Here is our O foot with that beautiful guide on the side for our 1/4 inch piecing. So that's wonderful. And then yes, when I lift off, ooh, this tray here, then we have, oh, even more goodies. Like we've got our R automatic buttonhole foot, our extra spool pins, you know, the usual seam ripper, little screwdriver, packet of needles, including the twin needle. So again, that's a fun way to do some hemming on your machine using a twin needle. And I demonstrated the twin needle more specifically with the 6700p episode of the Magical Machine Mystery Tour. So you can go back to review that on using a twin needle. But, you know, also consult our Janome Life blog. We have lots of posts there about using the twin needles. So that's in our beautiful accessory case there. But I wanted to come up and show you, yes, more of this fabulous LCD screen. The fun thing about, again, when you upgrade to other machines, then again, you look for convenience and you look for features. So the Skyline S3 definitely has a lot of those wonderful time-saving features, push-button controls. The LCD screen here, you can see I'm in mode number 1. We've got our mode button here to scroll through to mode number 2 is our decorative stitches. Mode 3 is our first alphabet. second alphabet, fourth alphabet, or third alphabet, fourth mode, fourth and fifth mode. So then I'm in mode 1. This is the stitch we have selected. So currently it's in stitch number 1, regular zigzag, or regular straight stitch. But if I wanted a zigzag stitch, I look up on my screen and I see, oh yes, then I can go to 11 is a zigzag stitch. So then, as we go along, then here's our presser foot A, which is the regular zigzag foot that's on the machine. So as we get into, let's say, mode number 2, and we're selecting some of our decorative stitches, like, ooh, I'll do 34, then you'll see it changes. Oh, it wants our F foot. Again, that satin stitch foot with the little groove underneath that's going to allow those decorative stitches to form more readily and feed more readily. So here is our stitch width and our stitch length. We can adjust them with these buttons here. So that's great. The little icon, our presser foot, our power foot is plugged in. That's what this cord is at the side of the machine. So we know our power foot is in. If we unplug that, that little icon disappears. And that's when we can use our stop start button. Now, again, as we go through the twin needle button here, again, this is a safety feature built in to a number of Janome machines, again, higher end Janome machines, but that's why, again, that we upgrade, and it's definitely a great feature, because then we want to know if this 34 satin stitch, can I use a twin needle with it? You simply just have to press a button. Yes, they illuminated, so yes, I can. But let's say if I go back to my mode number 1 and I select my buttonhole 25, again, no, I can't select a 25 buttonhole with that twin needle automatic guard safety feature in play. I have to disengage it and then select my buttonhole there, 25. It's telling me pull down the buttonhole lever that's just behind our thread guide, our needle threader, so make sure to pull that down. But again, now if I tried to use my twin needle, no, it blinks and then it beeps at me saying, no, you can't use the twin needle with that particular stitch. So again, it's a great safety feature included in a number of machines, so that way you know you're not going to make a mistake. Now I'm going to go back to my mode number 2, decorative stitches. I'll do 34. To demonstrate this cool little button is the mirror image button. So right now at stitch number 34, let me grab some fabric. And what I'm going to do is quickly flip out my presser foot. Like all Janome machines, there's a little button at the back here that releases your foot, so they just snap on. Here we've got a manual presser foot lift, but look, we've got the extra high presser foot lift, and again, I can get my finger right under there, so that's about a good half of an inch high. So again, if we're doing bag making, for example, or we're doing quilting and we've got extra thick layers, that extra high presser foot lift accommodates. So here I'm going to be doing some decorative stitches then, and as always I've got some stabilizer on the back of the fabric, and again, as always, it's like I sound like a broken record, but it's because I truly use it all the time and I love it. The Madeira Stabilizer Starter Pack with this very convenient booklet. There are 12 different stabilizers that come in this starter pack, so I love using this because then you can sample all these different types of stabilizer to find your favorite, and the little booklet included will go through what they all do, when you should use them. It's really a very good resource. So even little scraps, you know, left over, these are perfect size when you want to do like buttonholes and you need to support the fabric, then all these little scraps of stabilizer, nothing goes to waste. So that for sure you need under your fabric, and again, they even have it in black for darker fabrics or white. There's many different kinds of stabilizer available. So we've got our decorative stitch here. So as I'm going to do this stitch number 34 satin stitch, now this is just the regular stitch as is. Now when we want to complete that stitch in a whole pattern, we can hit the lock button and it will stitch it out and then stop automatically. And then again, we can trim our threads, so that's great. But you know, if we want to do our decorative stitch, and we want to stop it immediately, then we just hit the reverse button there, and it'll just stop exactly where it is. It's still going to do those couple of lock stitches, and then we can go in and trim our threads. So here is the stitch as it normally stitches out, but when I go over to the keypad here on the LCD screen and touch this little mirror image button, then the icon comes up on the screen, and then now we basically can increase the number of stitches simply by using that mirror image. So what it does is just flips the stitch over. So this is a really fun way to, again, kind of increase the decorative stitches of your machine, or stitches of all kinds. But then this really fun, I did this down the placket of a shirt, for example. So the buttons were right in between these scallops. So I made sure these aren't quite lined up, but I made sure that I lined them up. So I did this down the front of a button placket of a shirt. So it's really fun. This could be around a collar, or even this could be in a quilt block or down your on a tote bag. So there's really fun applications of when you can use this mirror imaging function. So that's very cool. So another feature here that we have is this arrow is the start over button. So when I'm doing my decorative stitch, for example, here, and I'm just going to stitch along, but then I'm gonna stop stitching, right away. I've come to the end of my line, let's say, but then now I want to, pivot and go in another direction. I want my stitch to start over at the beginning. So this is when we're going to press, this is a start over button, basically. So we're gonna press that little arrow, and then now the stitch is gonna start over from the beginning. So again, that's another one of those very convenient time-saving features that is, again, a reason that you upgrade. So there, my stitch started right from the very beginning to do that scallop there. So again, how cool is that? So we've got some other great time-saving features. Again, things like buttonhole, for example. Well, there, our number 24 buttonhole, there's a default setting, so that's great. Or if we want to do a zigzag, there, number 10 is a default zigzag button. So instead of going up to your lid and searching, we can just, boom, hit there. That's an automatic zigzag. Or then, our next little default here, when we want our needle over to the left, particularly if we're going to be doing that 1/4 of an inch for our piecing, let's say. Can you see when I click? The needle automatically goes over to the left, so that would be great. Snap on our 1/4 inch foot, and boom, there's your 1/4 of an inch. Or then the other default, when we're doing our decorative stitches and everything, we want to go back to utility straight stitch. Boom, there it is. Quick select, very easy. Now the M and the C are on various other machines, and again, M stands for memory. So we have up to 50 combinations of stitch patterns that we can program in the machine and then repetitively stitch out. And then we've got the cursors here. If we quickly go over to, I'll go to mode 3, and I always love to do Janome. So that's number 20, and we hit memory. So I'm going to do a quilt label, or again, as kids are going back to school, maybe we're going to sew in some labels in their clothes. So then let's say we'll go to 23, and we've got to hit memory every time for it to save. And then we'll do an E and 15, memory. Now we can even do our scissor and lock button automatically. So as soon as our word finishes, the scissor button will click and activate, so we don't have to reach up and grab it. So these arrows here are our cursor. So when I go back to review, I can see, oh no, I forgot the N in Janome, the N and the O, like, oh no, I spelt that completely wrong. It was so weird. I know it so well. No, I did this on purpose. So to demonstrate, okay, we can use these buttons. So J-A, and then we need to insert a letter. So we can go in here, Jan, make sure to save with M, And then we need to insert the O there, memory, scroll. I don't need that O, so I just hit clear, and then E. So then let's scroll through one more time. So Janome, yes. So then again, you can go back through and insert letters, delete letters. You don't need to start all over from the beginning. Very simple and easy. Again, a lot of great time-saving features. And it's automatically, again, going to stop as soon as I hit my E. And then again, I don't have to go up and reach my scissors because I've already programmed that the scissors are going to engage. And there we go. So now again, quilt labels, boom, go off and do as many as you wish. Fabulous. So many great features. So that, again, in a whirlwind is your Skyline S3, but oh, I wanted to show you, you know, there's always more. So, of course, included in your Skyline S3, your instructional DVD, and then all the instructions in the manual here, so make sure you read them. And yes, your manual and instructional DVD can easily tuck in that pocket of your semi-hard dust cover there. Now, if you go to our Janome.ca site, oh, our fabulous marketing guru, Alan, put together this beautiful Skyline S3 features page. So they list some of the features here of the machine. And again, some more info. Oh, they even talk about some of the fabulous accessories included. So that's all on the Janome.ca site. And as well, when we talk about, yes, the Skyline S3, S5, S6, S7, S9, what are the differences of them all? Oh, look, there is a comparison chart all on our Janome.ca website. So you type in under products, under machines, you type in like Skyline S3, for example, and that's the landing page, as we call it. And then you click on, there's some links to the side that Alan has prepared. So you click on the links and then boom, there's all the info of all the whole Skyline range of machines. They go through all the various features here and what machines have what. So then you can go online to the Janome.ca site and compare for the various models. But yes, when I say there's more, well, the other week I showed this fabulous tool embellishment holder from our friends at Tudo Bags. And of course, many other people have said, oh my gosh, show me that bag more. So yes, it's fabulous that we can have our various tools. Like, one optional accessory for your fabulous Skyline S3 is the convertible even feed foot set. So when we need a walking foot for our, or even feed foot for our machine, again, we're going to be doing some quilting, available from your Janome dealer, is this convertible even feed foot set. Full instructions, of course, in the blister pack, but it's a very cool, again, even feed foot that will provide, like upper feed dogs, basically. Now we have 7-point feed dogs of our Skyline S3. So now we've got upper feed dogs with this convertible free motion foot. But it's cool because then we can add various parts and pieces to it. For example, here is a guide that clicks in that is adjustable. So this would be great for, attaching your binding, or then this guide, is the quilt in the ditch foot, ditch quilt, ditch quilting foot right there. So that guide goes right down the center. So if you want to do some quilting in the ditch, then you've got this adjustable guide. So it's a really cool foot. There's even, that's the closed toe that's on it. And then there's an open toe version that will snap onto it. So that is available. And again, you could keep all of your accessories in this tool embellishment holder with all these little pockets here. And there's pockets on the back. Oh yes, for all your tools there, your tweezers, pens and pencils. And it just folds up to about 1 inch. So isn't that great? So it'll tuck in, even in your dust cover, it'll tuck in there, and then it's like an easel that reaches out like that. So then it will prop up against your machine. So isn't that cool? So that is available. But oh yes, something I really then wanted to show There is, again, other accessories available. This is a straight stitch needle plate, for example, available from your Janome dealer. There is center needle position, but there's a hole here to the left. So when you're going to use that left needle position, that's what that little hole is for. But this straight stitch needle plate, again, is that same easy set model that'll just screw down. So you just unscrew your regular zigzag one and pop in this straight stitch needle plate. A lot of people like using the straight stitch needle plate when you're piecing your quilt blocks, for example, particularly on an angle, doing the half square triangles, and then that way the tip of your fabric isn't going to get pushed into that regular zigzag opening by having that little narrow single hole needle plate. Or again, if you're going to be doing ruler quilting or free motion quilting, again, a lot of quilters like using that straight stitch needle plate. So this is available from your Janome dealer. This straight stitch needle plate will even fit your M series of machine, the Maker series of machines that I've had on previous to Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. So your M200 that I did a couple of weeks ago, your M100, your M50, for example, will fit this same straight stitch needle plate. And again, available from your Janome dealer. So that will work on your Skyline S3. But yes, this quilting kit, there is a 9mm version. So it says for Skyline machines, 7mm. So for Skyline S3, we need the 7mm version. For all other Skylines, S5, S6, S7, S9, we need the quilting kit for Skyline 9mm. So the 7mm kit has a bunch of fabulous feet, which I'll go over to in just a minute. But this, oh, who doesn't want, ooh, look at how big this extension table is. This is very similar to the extension table that, oh, we have for, again, top of the line machines like 9450, Memorycraft 15,000. Let me just clear some room. You know, I never have enough room because there's always so much to share. So I'll just tuck this all out of the way. So when we want more space, oh yes, we take off our little extension table there. And then this just slips into place. And then, oh yes, clear off your table. And then look at all of that. Ooh, look at all that fabulous room now. So again, at home, I'm actually, this is an old wooden kitchen table. I've sewn on it for years. I've never had a kind of table where at home, where my machines recess into the table. I wish I had some of our fabulous Aero cabinets at home. But instead, I've got this old kitchen table. So again, by having this extension table, when the machine sits on top of another table, by having this big extension table, look at all that room now that I have to support, again, whatever projects, whatever garments or bags, any kind of craft project, or again, all of our beautiful quilting. We can do it now with this extension table. So that comes included in this fabulous quilting kit. Now, I mentioned that, oh yes, there are some other feet that come with it. Now, again, I'm always so impressed with Janome because they really do think of everything. So here's a full little instruction booklet that comes, and they have things like this applique foot F, which is basically our AP applique foot, as it's called for 9mm machines. This is the same low profile as that AP foot. So again, go back to the Janome A to Z series with the A episode was the AP applique foot. This is that same profile, although here they call it applique foot F. But great for applique, particularly around curves, tight little corners, because of that lower profile in the front. The clear view foot, this is a very cool foot. It's got various markings on, you'll see with all those little red markings. But this is a very cool foot because it has these guides. So one guide will clip on to here, you just undo that. And then this guide slips on. And then this is going to be, oh yes, I've got it the right way. Okay, this is going to be there for your 1/4 inch. So isn't that great? And again, you've already got a 1/4 inch foot included with your Skyline S3, but this one is clear. So maybe you've got better visibility, and it comes with all these little cool notches that are, or the markings that are at 1/8 inch. And then this, oh yes, this is for your ditch quilting. So how cool is that? So this convertible clear foot again comes with your Skyline S3 7mm quilting kit. And again, full instructions here in your little booklet. Now we've got the open toe F foot. That's the F2 foot, is that open toe satin stitch foot. Again, maybe a little better visibility, but that same groove on the back for your decorative stitches. Oh, the open toe darning foot, the PDH foot that I demoed on the A to Z with Janome series for free motion quilting. So that's great. And then included in your quilting kit here we again have this fabulous even feed foot. This is not the convertible one. It's just like the regular even feed foot. But again, so you've got options. You can get the convertible free motion quilting foot set here separately, or included with your quilting kit, you do have this even feed foot here. And then it also has the, quilting guide bar. Now, I love showing people when they want to, trying to push this in here. The quilting guide bar, I find, really is easiest to attach and detach. Holding it in my hand, I've got my fingers underneath the foot supporting it, and then with my 2 thumbs here, I just give it a good push down and click it into place. And then again, it is adjustable, so we can pull that in and out as we're quilting. To remove it, I do the same thing, is the fingers under here help support the foot, and then click this out. I find, this is just plastic, so although it's designed to last, plastic does wear out over time. So I find by people trying to push this in here, it will go, but then that's in part why they seem to break the back of this plastic. So instead, I find it's better just to click it in like that is easier, and click it out, as opposed to, pushing it in like that. So and for me, I find it's just easier. I do this first, and then I put my foot in the machine. Again, it's just easier that way, but do whatever works best for you. So there is, again, full instructions even on how to put your table together. So isn't that cool? But also they've got in this quilting kit, oh yes, they call it the Jumpstart Quilt Sampler. So a cool little project they'll help walk you through on how to use all these feet. Again, there's more of that clear view foot in the guide set with all the markings. So all of that is included with that fabulous quilting kit for Skyline 7mm, again, which specifically is for your Skyline S3, and things are dropping all over the place. Now, for more information as well about all the Janome presser feet, you can get the presser foot workbook available from your Janome dealer, and it walks you through, again, all the Janome presser feet there, regardless of what machine you have. So it's a great resource. So yes, there, boom, in a quick nutshell, is your fabulous Janome Skyline S3. So make sure you consult your fabulous Janome dealer, and again, check out some of the resources online for more information about the machine. And I will spin around here. Ooh, yes. So Marilyn and I say thank you so much for joining us today for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. And what will I be talking about next week? Oh, I don't know. It's a mystery. So I hope you'll come back and join me. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.